Thanks so much, Jen. We go from one exciting game to another here in Memorial Gymnasium. This is what March looks like in February. Two of the best in the country going at it. Kentucky in Music City to face Vanderbilt, and already we have seen the threes raining down. Sam, go along with Brooke Weisbrod with you. It's been a fun start so far, Brooke.
Yeah, Asia Boone knocking down a three for Kentucky, and so they're immediately responding, Vanderbilt does, with their defense.
Hassett, her second made three of this early going.
And that's what you get. We saw these two teams give us quite a show in early February. 21 threes between the two teams.
It is senior day here at Vanderbilt, so a different starting lineup for Vanderbilt. This is the first time they have deviated from their traditional five all season. No Galvan in the starting lineup, no Washington. Mikayla Blakes off the mark, good offensive rebound, and the step back by Mitchell.
The 6'4" junior from Colorado's got to play big today to match that Kentucky lineup. Sasha Washington not in the game today. She is dressed, did come out for warm-ups, but did not participate in the shoot-around.
Boom, made one earlier, makes another one. Oh, are you kidding me? Kentucky has not missed a three-pointer. They are 4 for 4 to start the game.
And Boone and Hassett are top 5 in the SEC in threes, and now you know why. A quick release, great spacing and passing so far for Kentucky.
Well, now keep in mind, Vanderbilt averages a league-leading 10 threes per game. Galvan will check into the game now and will replace Jada Brown, who got her first start since her freshman season. Kenny Brooks, another 20-win season. He's done that 20 times as a head coach, back-to-back at Kentucky. And we could spend a lot of time talking about the milestones both of these head coaches have achieved in their short time at both schools.
Yeah, no doubt. One of the cool nuggets reading about Kenny Brooks was that in 24 years, he's only had one losing season.
Clara Strack, how about that move? Are you kidding me?
How about the real estate she can get with just that stutter step, terrific pivot, and then the big step to get by the defense. Kentucky's size, they're one of the largest teams in the country, but that was a heck of a pass down low.
Yeah, good feed from Passat down to Mitchell. And Mitchell, who's normally their leading scorer off the bench, starting today in place of Washington and is contributing right away. She's already got 6 points.
Yeah, I like having Justine Passat step out. Of course, you know there's a three-point shooter, but I think as a passer, she's incredibly talented, and that's good help side defense, but the post play today, that's going to be key with Tiani Key.
These two teams met 10 days ago in the other memorial in Lexington. And although Kentucky was leading by 4 heading into the fourth quarter, Vanderbilt pulled it out on the road. And this was a game Kentucky's been circling ever since.
Yeah, blocking shots. This is what Kentucky does. They are second best in the country at doing so. And Strack can defend without fouling. She's got a great knack for when and where to move after the ball. I love the way that she rebounds, Sam. Like, she just moves instinctually to get that ball at the height of where she can get it.
And one more block for Strack, and she'll tie her single-season record that she established last year. Brown off the mark, and Hassett grabs the rebound. Well, it could not have started any better for Kentucky here in Nashville today. They're 6 of 7 shooting. Here's another one. And that was the first three the Wildcats have missed, but they get the offensive rebound. Morgan will jack it up. And that will stay with Kentucky as Shea Ralph continues to go to her bench. Black and Del Rosario will check in. Shea Ralph taking this program to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, and this year they are destined for probably their highest seed in program history. At least in the first reveal, they were a top 4 seed. The way the committee was thinking, they've lost a game since, but they are definitely going to be hosting first and second rounds of the tournament.
Pretty incredible to think about. You know, just a few years ago, you're picked last in the SEC. For the first time now, you're getting the #1 seed. Early on in the first few reveals, but I love what Shea Ralph had to say about her seniors. She said, they're the ones that have seen us rise through this process. They're going to have to rise up to this Kentucky challenge, though, today, Sam.
So Kentucky up 10 with under 5 to play in the first quarter. We've seen the threes raining down.
Yeah, Kentucky does a great job in spacing and passing. Tony Morgan, one of the better assist getters in the country.
Memorial Gymnasium has seen a relentless start by Kentucky. And maybe what happened 10 days ago, Brooke, is why. Because if you just looked at the stats, you probably would think Kentucky won the game. They outshot Vanderbilt. They out-rebounded Vanderbilt. However, they turned the ball over 20 times.
And Vanderbilt got 25 points off those turnovers, and that's what Kenny Brooks was talking to us today, just about the type of turnovers. He said, you know, we can't have kind of those pick sixes. We got to focus on the way we turn it over. Those live ball turnovers where Vandy could just get going.
Hassett, we're going to get him going. She is a momentum shooter. She makes one. They're going to come in bunches. So how relentless has Kentucky been in the first meeting 10 days ago? They only scored 16 points the entire first quarter. Already 18 right away. Obi into the game for the first time, back in her natural 4 and scores.
Good to see her get on the scoreboard. She's had no points in her last 5 games, and Kenny Brooks talked to us again this morning about that. He said we need to get Jordan Obi going off the bench. Good for her to come in and take that shot.
Hassett makes the mid-range. And Hassett, Kenny Brooks, the Kentucky head coach, calls Hassett the most improved player in the SEC this season.
Yeah, you can see it in the way that she just plays. She's so confident, and her game has grown and expanded into other areas. Of course, known as a three-point shooter, but she's doing so much more.
Strack off the mark on the 3. Lexi Blue will check into the game for the Wildcats. First player into the game since that last time out. And Asia Boone having a chat with Coach Brooks. It's unique for the head coaches. They're on the sidelines, but their benches are under the basket here. So coaches talk to players as they're coming off the floor in a different spot.
Yeah, Kenny Brooks told us, you know, he's going to look to his assistants to get some advice or figure out what's going on in the game as Blakes takes it right down the center of the lane. She's so good at squaring her shoulders and getting full speed to the rim.
Hassett off the mark on the 3. First 3 she's missed. Mikayla Blakes scored 37 10 days ago against Kentucky. This game features 2 players that'll be on the ballot for National Player of the Year, Clara Strack and Mikayla Blakes. Morgan has it struck by Blakes. Good D.
What a recovery.
Galvan, the freshman point guard, with the ball in her hands. Blakes for 3. Anchor down. The doors are rolling right now. They have cut the lead to 5.
That's a National Player of the Year play right there. Turn the ball over, sprint back down, get the steal, hustle up, and hit a transition 3.
7-0 run right now by Vanderbilt. Kentucky was so hot to start the game. A pass off of Vanderbilt. It will remain Kentucky's ball. Tiani Key will check back in for Kentucky.
And here's Blakes, the great vision down the floor from Tony Morgan. And Morgan just gets stripped clean. Blake somehow stays in bounds. And then Galvan, you already know, these two work together so well. I love the combo inside.
Obi draws the foul on the inbounds pass. Rosario commits the foul. Kentucky started the game 6 of 7 shooting. They're 1 for their last 7 since. So Jordan Obi, who was a 3-time All-Ivy League performer at Penn, makes her free throw. And a reminder, men's college basketball, big Monday on ESPN and the ESPN app. 2 of the best places to ever see men's college basketball. The Smith Center in Chapel Hill, starting at 7 Eastern. Louisville will be there. And then Allen Fieldhouse, Kansas, will be hosting Houston. That's tomorrow night on ESPN and the app. I know where I'll be tomorrow night. That's going to be a good game. 2 good games.
Absolutely. We just have the top 4 teams playing on the men's side as well. As Galvan showing us some top-tier moves herself.
The 5'6" freshman sensation. She and Aaliyah Chavez of Oklahoma expected to battle it out for Rookie of the Year in the SEC. And there's a 5-second count as Kentucky couldn't get it in.
Galvan is just so creative off the bounce. She's hard to stay in front of. She's unpredictable. She doesn't give away her reads, and Vanderbilt putting the pressure on Kentucky like they did in their first matchup.
One of the rare under-the-radar recruits to play at this high of a level, and what a freshman season she's had. Baseline jumper is good by Ada Black.
It was a cold jumper by Black. She just took that ball right up with it. And able to come in and try to situate their press.
Black also a freshman. And a blocking foul. Del Rosario just got there a little late. When all is said and done, this is a pretty young Vanderbilt team. And
Kentucky coming in off the drive. Obi able to pick up the contact foul.
Trinity Wilson in for the first time. Continuing on something you were talking about earlier, Brooke, Vanderbilt has proven to be one of the top teams in the country this year, but before the season started, 2 polls in the SEC, they were picked 9th and 11th in the preseason polls.
Yeah, don't you love preseason polls? All that is just fuel to get better. You know, and now it's dealing with being recognized as a #1 seed. How can they handle it, sustain it, maintain it? You know, last weekend, I was there for the upset of Georgia, and already this is a different-looking Vanderbilt team than I saw last Sunday.
And the stars shining. We just had back-to-back buckets by Strack for Kentucky and Blakes for Vanderbilt. Now another turnover forced by the Doors. Galvan. Oh. Come on! Is this the Harlem Globetrotters?
What did we just watch? Sam, that was sick. Wow. She got this crowd off their feet, and it starts with the defense, the quick hands. Look at her keeping her eyes up. She's looking for Blakes. Now I got it. Skirt right to the mini pull-up. Aubrey Galvan is so exciting to watch.
So it is not if it will be on the SportsCenter top 10, but what number will it be?
Man, you better put that up there. That's at least top 5.
We are tied at 24. Vanderbilt has battled back. Kentucky needs to respond. Tony Morgan right down the lane, misses. Offensive rebound. Key bumped and muscles it up and in.
This is where you miss Sasha Washington if you're Vanderbilt. You need that presence, that power and physicality down low to bump Kentucky's bigs out. You see how they keep coming and coming after offensive rebounds. It's one of the better rebounding teams in the country. You mentioned it, Sam. They out-rebounded Vanderbilt by 18 in that first go.
And a reminder, Sasha Washington has not played. It was a game-time decision. She has started every game this year. Final seconds of the first quarter winding down. Vanderbilt hoping to get a final shot off. 9/10 of a second left. If you're Kentucky, can you get the shot off?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you design plays just for this very reason. So Kenny Brooks, he was working on a last-second 3 today, but Kentucky chooses not to.
So what a fast and furious opening quarter, and at the end of 10 minutes, Kentucky is up 2.
We told you there's going to be some stars and scoring today. Did we lie? I tell you what, we're going to have multiple top 10 SC highlights to be considering today. What a start for both clubs. The backcourt at Vanderbilt is so fun to watch. Of course, you have Mikayla Blakes, who's campaigning for Player of the Year status with moves like this. And she's got a freshman to help her out. Go under on the screen. Blakes is going to make you pay. And then the awesome combination between these two. Aubrey Galvan always looking for her partner crime right there. Mikayla Blakes lining up the 3. And then Galvan's like, I got a little shimmy shake of my own. Don't worry about it. A little fadeaway 3 after the spin move, knocking it down.
I mean, we were still talking about that play on the break. I'm not going to forget that forever. That was an amazing move.
I can't wait to see that go through my social feed. I'm just double tapping all day on that.
Another behind the back move from Galvan. Kentucky trying to lock down now. Galvan will shoot the long distance shot. Not good. Winning Tondo lost it out of bounds, so Kentucky will get it back. And Kentucky was so good shooting the 3 early. They made their first 4 threes. They're 0 for 4 since. Again, these are 2 of the best 3-point shooting teams in the SEC. And a foul in the backcourt on Galvan as she was trying not to let Toni Morgan get loose, and that was a point of emphasis for Vanderbilt today, was to keep Morgan, number 5 in blue, in check.
Shea Ralph told us they want to do what they can to make the day difficult for Toni Morgan, because she's able to create so much off the bounce. Her vision is exceptional. She's giving you so many assists. She can go for 9 or 10 a game, sometimes 16.
Strack. Little fadeaway. She owns that shot. So good on that fadeaway, and draws a foul as well.
I mean, how do you guard that? The fadeaway from somebody that's 6'5", has length, get right through the double team. Just so patient with the way she develops her shot. It's 2 defenders, fadeaway. Man, that looks good. You're right, Sam. She has darn near perfected that look.
She is the reigning SEC Player of the Week and the reigning Naismith National Player of the Week after games she had against Texas A&M and Ole Miss. Kentucky beating Ole Miss last Sunday, the same day Vanderbilt was upset at Georgia. And both teams have been off since, so we expect it full throttle. We're getting it. That last foul, by the way, was on Wynn and Tonda. That's her second, so she's on the Vanderbilt bench now. Good D by the Wildcats. Shot clock down to 4. Galvan got to make something happen. Pulls the trigger. Hassett clears the rebound.
And the zone for Kentucky effective in forcing Vanderbilt to take a deep shot. Let's see how Kentucky responds and go back to Strack if they can.
Boone always looking to shoot distance. This time it's a 2. Asia Boone, 78% of her made shots this season have been 3-pointers. That's a 2 though, and Hassett commits the foul out on the sideline, trying to slow Blakes down. Mikayla Blakes, is it too strong to say she's a generational talent?
No.
I mean, just unbelievable.
She is unbelievable, and Shea Ralph compares her mentality to that of Maya Moore, and I think you can absolutely see it. The way she approaches the game, how professional she is. She doesn't lose her confidence. She continues to fight through every single possession. You cannot rattle number 1.
Blakes, tough shot. And nice save by Boone, yeah. It's one of the benefits of not having the bench on the sideline. Boone for 3.
Well, Kentucky shots look good. They are online, and they're good shots that they're taking. And Boone's going to get called for that block. Galvan taking the contact. wisely falls down.
Asia Boone just could not get out of the way. Asia Boone, her first season wearing the Kentucky blue after transferring from Liberty University, where she was a star and aspiring pilot. But I had to put her flying career on hold to come to Kentucky because they don't have a flight school. But she's got several hours in the cockpit, has done emergency landings. Her parents both in the military and both fly. And seeing the movie Top Gun is what clinched it for her when she was a little girl.
Yeah. Already 40 hours plus in the plane. I trust it.
Galvan. Such a pretty shot. I mean, does Galvan do anything just normal?
she's so just sort of innocent in the way that her talent just shines for her and just goes out there and works hard, and the magic happens in how hard she plays. That's what's so fun about her.
Hassett misses the 3. We've been consumed with the Olympics as a nation the past couple of weeks. I think Galvan should get style points.
If there was a category, yeah, she would take the gold. Maybe dual gold with Miss Blakes here.
Strack grabs the miss. Both teams in a little bit of a drought right now. Hassett always ready to shoot.
Yeah, after a blazing first quarter, we got to hit the cool here in this second.
Yeah, Hassett came out, made her first 2 threes. She's now missed 3 in a row. The Aussie. For our parents watching us 13 hours ahead, so good day. It's Monday morning in Australia. And there's Galvan again.
And you can't lose sight of her because she can literally score from everywhere. And It's so quick the way she catches the ball and immediately looks for either to take the shot or to make the next pass. Yeah, Kentucky's got to go back to Strack.
8 points for Galvan now. Key gets it back. Morgan will shoot the three. In and out for Tony Morgan. Did everything but fall down or fall in. So Galvan, Brooke, she scored Vanderbilt's last 6 points. Remember, she did not start the game.
Yeah, senior day, so likely giving that spot up to Jada Brown, but she's made an immediate impact coming back in. And for Vanderbilt, who likes to keep things as consistent as possible, they're adjusting well with that Sasha Washington in the lineup.
Hassett again. Boom, Amelia Hassett, who grew up playing netball in Australia. There's no backboard in netball, so she is a dead-eye shooter.
Yeah, she did get a good look at, what basketball could be like, on the international level playing that game. I can only imagine how much that improved her shooting. But that'd be really hard to learn how to play the game.
Passat, speaking of shooting, deadly from three. Passat, one of the seniors honored today. We had a foul in the backcourt, and again they get Black. So Black gets whistled for her second foul, and we'll head off the floor. Macarat and Del Rosario return for Vanderbilt. Black, 5'11" freshman, the first player in Vanderbilt history to hail from the state of New Hampshire. And Kentucky also bringing in a new player. She's throwing the ball in. Kaylin Carroll, number 20. So both coaches going deep in the bench here in this first half.
Yeah, and these are two teams that, players who start, they run minutes. Mikayla Blakes, Galvan, both 33 minutes plus, along with Morgan.
Morgan to Boone. They're playing catch on the perimeter. And Asia Boone.
Her game is so tight. She's able to just hold on to that ball. Efficient dribbles, like there's no wasted movement, space, nothing. She is just pure basketball. I love watching her play.
Boone's the first Wildcat in double figures today. Here's Galvan pulling for three. And it is Aubrey Galvan's day. Wow. 11 points already for Galvan. She averages 13 a game. She's been scoring 14 a game in SEC play. And a jump ball. Good hustle on both sides. Timeout on the floor.
Aubrey Galvan, who leads D1 freshmen in assists and steals, trying to get her buckets on today. Doing it from everywhere. A little hezzy, a little fadeaway. You see the spin move, and she's got a three in her bag.
Michigan today upset by Iowa.
Yeah, and that's gives a little bit of breathing room to a Vanderbilt team that lost to Georgia just a week ago. But all coaches looking big picture at how to close out the end of the regular season, get the most healthy that they can get their team rested. And meanwhile today, Aubrey Galvan, the freshman, putting on a show, showing no signs of freshman legs getting tired this late in the season. She's just getting going.
Asia Boone's now made at least 3 threes in 7 straight games. Number 8 in blue. There's Morgan going to work inside. Nice shot. Took what was there.
Yeah, she's such a facilitator, but catch you sleeping and she's going to take you right to the rack. She's done a great job of figuring out how to score off the bounce.
Good ball movement. Galvan open for 3. Nothing but net. 14 points for Galvan. Carroll open for 3, and Carroll off the bench nails the 3.
It's a difficult pass to make. That's cross court into the shooter's pocket, and immediately Carroll goes up for the shot.
26 of her 35 made shots this year have been threes, so teams know when Carroll comes in, she's going to be looking to shoot that free. Galvan finally shows some humanity. Boone misjudged that. How tough is it to shoot in Memorial, do you think, Brooke, when you're not used to playing here? Vanderbilt hasn't lost here all year.
Yeah, well, I mean, you wouldn't tell by the way Kentucky shot in the first quarter that they felt any type of way. And Mikayla Blakes loves shooting in front of this crowd. getting them off their feet.
It is such a unique venue with the benches under the baskets. Our broadcast position is below the level of the court, so everything's a little different here. The fans are way back off the court on those sidelines.
Get a great look at all the shoes, though. I got to tell you, the sneaker game's on point for both teams.
Never thought of that. Well, let me remind you about SEC women's basketball Thursday night. Flau'jae Johnson and LSU will host Talasia Cooper and Milady Vols. That'll be at the Maravich Center down in Baton Rouge. Coverage will begin 6 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. LSU fell victim to Kentucky earlier this year on a last-second shot from Toni Morgan.
Yeah, she had an incredible game. She had 16 assists, no turnovers in that game as well. It was just outstanding performance from her.
Blakes with Strack on her. Do you think they meant for Strack to be covering Blakes in?
And anybody that can cover Blakes, if you're near, you better be ready to try to guard. Now, if you can, that's another story.
Kentucky up 1. They had a big lead to start the game. Vanderbilt caught up. Kentucky led by 2 at the end of the quarter. And Toni Morgan is heating up offensively. One of the, she is the leader in the nation in total assists.
Good screen in CL2. Clara Strack able to give her that room so that Toni Morgan could take that next dribble, get the rhythm, and go up with it.
Oh, Blakes.
Pretty.
Had Strack on her back. And Blakes, 15 points here in the first half. We're down to about 90 seconds remaining. Carroll has come off the bench and made 2 3-pointers.
I fully believe Toni Morgan knew that ball was going to end up back at the top of the key. She goes driving down, kicks it out, then the extra pass. It's that rhythm 3 for Kentucky. When they can get into it, they really start getting in their flow and hitting the shots.
Passat almost out of bounds when she shot it. She was showed deep. Galvan attacks, blocked. Here come the Wildcats. Under a minute to play in the half. Carroll just made a 3. Well, heat check didn't go in. Good hustle by Kentucky. Hassett short on the 3.
Ooh, everybody take a big, deep breath.
Does that include us?
Yes, this game is cooking.
No better game to watch right now. Stay with us. This is action-packed. 2 of the best teams in the country. Vanderbilt ranked number 5 in the nation. The committee on the first reveal expected them to be a top 4 seed. That might be in jeopardy now after their loss to Georgia. And Kentucky wasn't even a top 16 seed in the initial reveal, but now Charlie Cream, our bracketologist, says they are a top 16 seed. Final seconds of the half. Blakes draws the foul on the way to the bucket and will go to the line.
Watch Blakes at the top of the key. How quick she is to turn the corner and can get herself close enough to the rim where she can get the shot off, take contact, give it a good look. Almost an and 1 there for her.
The foul is on Hassett. So, believe it or not, this is the first free throw of the game.
Wow.
For Vanderbilt. Kentucky's 5 of 5 from the line, and free throw is one of the things Blakes does well. Last weekend, you were on the game at Georgia. She was 19 of 20 from the free throw line.
Yeah, she just found a way. And although Vanderbilt didn't get the win, she was willing them to get back to a place where they were competitive. And Boone just checking in. Sam, they ran a play and shoot around for her to get a 3. Let's see if they do it here.
Key with the ball at the moment to Morgan. Morgan to Strack. Strack will shoot the 3. And it is off the mark. But Kentucky has got to be happy with this opening half, as Kentucky, who lost to Vanderbilt 2 weeks ago, will take a 2-point lead into intermission here in Music City. So halftime score, Kentucky 46, Vanderbilt 44. It is senior day, and after the emotion of senior day, everybody was locked in for the first 20 minutes.
Vanderbilt throughout that second quarter, and what I think is so interesting, the way Kentucky opened this game here, Vanderbilt responded right back. And remember, in their first matchup, Kentucky out-rebounded them by 18. In this one, it is all tied up at 16.
A couple other interesting things about that first half. Vanderbilt's last 34 points, Mikayla Blakes or Aubrey Galvan have either scored or assisted on every one of those baskets. And for Kentucky, the depth just shining. 7 players have 4 or more points right now for the Wildcats. Blakes, first shot of the quarter, and it is good.
She's such a dangerous driver that, forget all she's got to do is pull back. And she's got the spacing she needs for that quick, smooth, silky J.
Boom. And Asia Boone, much like she started the game, knocks down her first 3 of the half.
Speaking of smooth,
yeah,
the way that she's become such a reliable shooter for this offense. You mentioned her last few games. In her 6 games, she's hit 24 threes.
Tony Morgan, after the turnover, Strack had trouble handling it. She swats it out, and good pickup by Morgan. Good heads-up play by Strack.
Yeah, she really had to get low for that one. The 50-50 ball could be the difference in this game. I mean, the margin of error is so slim.
Strack, double team comes over, no problem. Clara Strack.
You can throw a double team at her, but she's still able to get the separation. That's one of her great skill sets. Is being able to play with physicality on her and still find a way to get the shot off.
9 points for Strack now. Hassett gives it up. And off the glass. Nice bank shot by Ayanna Mitchell. Mitchell today starting in place of Sasha Washington, and it has paid off. She has been a big contributor.
And it is important for Vanderbilt to establish inside scoring. You know, Blakes and Galvan can certainly carry a team, but you have to have that response from your post players. And Shea Ralph liked that one.
Strack missing the mid-range. One of the things she's worked on this year with Kenny Brooks is extending her shot. He's never worried about whether she makes them. He just wants her to be comfortable taking them. Looking to that next level for her. Turnover again on the doors. And Boone throws it right to Galvan. How sneaky is that? Look at that pass! And Blakes with the finish. More style points.
That's why these two are so well tied together. Galvan is in 8 cents for the ball, where to be at the right time, comes up with the steal, and what does Blakes do? Immediately turns the Jets on. Gets downhill for the layup.
That's a freshman and a sophomore, folks. Enjoy that for the next few years. Strack rims out, and Galvan runs down the rebound. Galvan only 5'6". Creates an opening and gets the roll.
That's how you read a game. Sometimes you don't need set plays, you just need to have a feel for what's going on in the game, and Galvan knows she's got a hot hand. Sam, she's playing incredibly well in that sweet spot of taking shots when they're available and not trying to do too much. What composure for the freshman.
Nice take, doesn't go in. Key with the offensive rebound. Back into Strack, and Strack draws the foul against Vanderbilt. Hassett gets called for the foul. Her first. So Clara Strack, again, one of the best players in the nation. In fact, she is the national player of the week this week. Strack right now, only player in the nation averaging at least 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks. Well, women's basketball takes over SEC Network every Thursday night. Joyce Edwards and South Carolina will host Missouri this Thursday, and then we'll cap the night off by Madison Booker, last year's SEC Player of the Year. 4th ranked Texas hosting Georgia. All games, like everything else, on the ESPN app.
Huge win for South Carolina over Ole Miss today. And Georgia gets themselves back to the top 25 with that upset over Vandy last weekend. Another steal from Hassett.
College Game Day crew is in South Carolina this week. They announced they'll be at TCU next weekend. And a jump ball. Possession error will keep it on this end. Good hustle by Tiani Key and Ayanna Mitchell. They're fearless.
Every single player that's been on the floor today has been willing to dive for a loose ball. It's one of the things that you just love as a coach, to see that pride and willingness for players to give up their bodies.
Our lead official, Eric Bruton, talking to the scorers table right now, but I've not seen him go to the monitor yet. And I think they are going to the monitor now. Both teams will head to their bench, and officials are going to take another look at that last play. So while they review it, we'll get it sorted out and step away, but you are not going to want to miss the end of this game.
Has not been short of highlights. Watch the vision here from the freshman Aubrey Galvan. Here she is, taking a look and seeing where she can make her mark defensively. She sneaks in, gets the steal, and immediately when Mikayla Blakes notices, hey, ball's on our court, she sprints down, gets ahead of the defense, and you rack up another assist from the dynamic duo.
Last two quarters, Aubrey Galvan, 12 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, shooting 7 of 11 in that time frame. And the officials were at the table just determining how much time would be put on the shot clock. They settled on 19 seconds. And so we're back underway now. Blakes in the open court to Passat. And that'll go out of bounds. Blakes passing up the shot herself to hand to her teammate, Justine Passat, the senior out of Toms River, New Jersey, enjoying her best season as a college basketball player.
Yeah, seen some career highs, points, rebounds, assists, and Mikayla Blakes, I think, making a good teammate decision right there to give it up and try to get Passat in the game. I would like to have seen Blakes take that shot. I think she had an open look on the floor, either pull up 3 in transition or to continue driving. But again, not a wrong play, just trying to get her teammate involved.
And in the meantime, Brooke, we've just seen one of the things that makes Kentucky so unique. Clara Strack actually took that pass and handled the ball. So did Tiani Key. The bigs for Kentucky can handle the ball, and that makes them very dangerous.
Yeah. Well, Clara Strack grew up playing the guard spot, so she's got the fundamentals, of what the guards do. And then, of course, when you get to be, 6 foot and then 6'5", you got to play down low. But those guard moves benefit her. And Blakes, so good getting under the defense, finding contact to get to the line.
Foul on Hassett here one more time.
How low she is. Little ball fake, boom, contact, still able to look at the rim. There's really not many answers. If there is one, for the nation's leading scorer, keeping her off the scoreboard, off the free throw line. You see what she's been able to do today. And back in February, she dropped nearly 40 on Kentucky.
Now 47 straight games in double figures. Only 2 other active players are ahead of her, Hannah Hidalgo and Audie Crooks. Have both scored in the 90s consecutively in double figures. But to me, Blakes now 9 straight games of 20 or more points. Vanderbilt up 1 here in the 3rd quarter. They beat Kentucky by 1 10 days ago. Morgan slicing through the defense. And then the offensive rebound and stick back for Clara Strack and 1.
Kentucky's dynamic duo right here. Morgan getting through everybody. Unable to finish, but Strack so good, lengthy and long. Again, the timing of how she can rebound, Sam. She's on point with that and gives Kentucky the lead.
Second foul on Galvan, and Clara Strack at the free throw line now. Strack with 12 points today, completes the 3-point play. And Strack has 6 of Kentucky's 9 points this quarter. She really put her team on her back last Sunday against Ole Miss, was responsible for an 8-0 run in the fourth quarter that basically sealed the game for Kentucky in the win over Ole Miss. Galvan, nice pass, and the finish by Black, freshman to freshman.
I love how hard Black plays, and again, sprinting down the heart of the lane. And you can catch Kentucky sleeping. Galvan is going to find you. Vanderbilt playing a little bit smaller lineup here.
Entry pass denied by the Commodores. Only the 7th turnover, though, for Kentucky. Blakes misses the 3. Key clears the rebound.
That's a good point, Sam. A much better managed game for Kentucky. In their first matchup, Vanderbilt was able to press and force Kentucky into so many turnovers, 20 of them, and then get 25 points off. And Key's going to be called for the offensive foul.
So Tiani Key gets called for the foul. That'll send us to a break with 4:26 left in the quarter.
2 shots and the ball we get at half court.
So Eric Bruton just telling the fans here that that foul on Tiani Key is upgraded to a flagrant 2, and that means that flagrant 1, excuse me, that means that Vanderbilt will have 2 free throws and the ball as Key got her above the neck.
Yes, he's trying to establish position. The elbow gets her at the chin, and so above the shoulders, the contact excessive and unnecessary fits the criteria, you know, for an upgrade there. You and I were just discussing in the breakout, you know, physical the SEC is. I don't think either of us would have been surprised if that didn't get upgraded. It certainly fits just with the contact she made with her elbow, dangerous play above the neck.
Well, Kenny Brooks was pleading his case, which is why you did not see a shot of the head coach in that huddle shot we just had. But obviously, Coach Brooks isn't going to win that argument, but defending his player. And so Blakes will have 2 free throws, then Vanderbilt will get the ball after the flagrant 1 was called on Key. These are money. Blakes, 86% free throw shooter. She was 19 of 20 last Sunday, and today 5 of 6.
I don't think people realize the mental discipline it takes to hit 19 of 20 free throws. You are up there all by yourself after taking a hard foul.
That was the 2nd most free throws made in a game in Vanderbilt history. So now Vanderbilt has the ball as well. This could be a big possession. Key and Strack fighting for the rebound, and finally Tiani Key gets the rebound. So Kentucky only lost 2 points after that flagrant. Nice pass over to Obi. Obi doesn't get the finish.
Yeah, Obi came in strong as if she was going to go up against a Vanderbilt player to see if they were going to block it. So she came in with all that energy and then just overshot it.
Obi intercepts the pass. Kentucky needs a bucket. No contact, no foul. Obi will try again and knocks it down. Kentucky now 4 of their last 14, so that was good for them to see the ball go through the net.
You know, no matter what Kentucky has faced today, they started off this game strong, and then they've been resilient against the Vanderbilt wave that we knew was going to happen.
Blakes bouncing right to Strack. Here's Strack, an example of her handling. Coast to coast for Clara Strack. Is she a point guard?
I knew she had a little Euro step in her game. All right, Clara. Still for the 6'5s out there. Handles. Euro a little headsy by Galvan, just giving her the repayment and finishing with a left hand. Yeah, that's a guard move right there.
So Clara Strack with the finish. We've got another break. 3:02 left. Kentucky's up 2 in the 3rd quarter.
The sausage egg biscuit is perfect.
Now it comes with hot honey sauce.
I stand corrected.
This week's National Player of the Week, Clara Strack, SEC Player of the Week as well. Just one of the most complete players in Division I basketball.
Kentucky does well when she does well. They are 24-4 when she has a double-double.
Strack has 8 of Kentucky's last 10 points. Shot clock under 10. Hassett gets caught, finds Black. Black feeds it inside. Shot clock, will it expire? Oh! Shot clock was expiring and a foul committed on Kentucky, but I think this might get looked at because the shot clock actually may have expired. It just didn't go off.
Well, let's see. Vanderbilt doing a lot of interior passing. It's led to some turnovers. We'll take a look here as Mitchell still holding on to the ball. No, I think she got it off in time.
She got it off, and they just conferred and agreed they didn't need to go to the monitor, so that was a good shot clock utilization.
Absolutely. A good composure for Vanderbilt down the stretch. You know, understanding Kentucky's defensive pressure was heating up. I mean, they're trying to make the extra pass for a good shot, but at times, sometimes I'm watching Vanderbilt trying to make the perfect pass instead of just playing some basketball.
So Mitchell goes to the free throw line now. And what a big Monday doubleheader we got for you on ESPN and the app tomorrow night. The Tar Heels of North Carolina in the Dean Smith Center will host Louisville, and then that'll be followed by a trip to Allen Fieldhouse where you can see the original rules of basketball. And Kansas will host Houston at 9 Eastern. Boy, it never gets easier for Houston, does it?
It's life in the Big 12.
I'll have to check that out on the app. I'm going to be at a game at Auburn tomorrow night. Key, sweet, nice pure jumper by Tiani Key.
Man, an unexpected shot too. Key so good at posting up and getting scoring done inside.
Key had to, sorry, Brooke, I was going to say she had 27 the last time they played Vanderbilt.
She had a great game. Hassett as well.
Nice pass. Mitchell doesn't get the finish. Key grabs another rebound.
Strack may have gotten a piece of that ball.
5 rebounds now for Tiani Key. Under 2 to play in the third quarter. Tony Morgan creating and scoring.
The ball hangs out there forever, doesn't it? That's a big teardrop.
Kentucky extends the lead to 4. Remember, they led by 4 heading into the fourth quarter in their last meeting with Vanderbilt. And could not hold on. Blakes drives, gets fouled, and will go to the bucket. So Clara Strack did get the block on that other end, Brooke, and so she has now tied her single-season blocks record. That was her 73rd. Her next block will set the record, so I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
They talk about leveling up. She's literally putting it on display. You got another one there to break the record, I believe.
Yeah. So another single-season record, and why not score off of it? Kentucky has now made their last 5 shots to create a little distance. Galvan slowing it down. They want to get in the half-court set here. Blakes with Key on her. Kicks it out, Hassett. Kentucky in the midst of a 6-0 run right now to build this 6-point lead. Remember, Carroll with the ball came in off the bench, hit a couple threes in the first half. So look for her to maybe shoot another one here, number 20 in blue. Shot clock though, getting down close. Morgan will pull. Tiani Key was hit in the mouth on that play, and now getting back into the action right now.
Yeah, she looks uncomfortable out there trying to work through pain. And meanwhile, Galvan making it rain.
Aubrey Galvan has been an instant highlight reel today, but Clara Strack, another record-setting blocks performance for the junior.
It does it, Sam, on back-to-back possessions. Getting it done on the help side. candidate Mikayla Blakes.
10 days ago, Kentucky led by 4 heading into the fourth quarter. And then Mikayla Blakes basically put the team on her back and single-handedly got the win. Kentucky had a chance at the end. Hassett's 3 would rim out. And Kentucky unable to hold on to that 4-point lead at home. And now, wouldn't you know, today, heading into the fourth quarter, Brooke, they've got another 4-point lead.
4-point lead on the road. And in that same game, Sam, Kentucky found itself down 6 with about 2.5 minutes left. So there's no quit, full belief in either team right now. And Blakes, who had an outstanding game with 6 threes in their first go-around, headed in that same direction. And you see her just tap Justine Passat right there, saying, hey, I still believe in you. I want you to keep shooting confidently. Passat only 1 of 7 from behind the 3 today. And as much as I love the thought of getting your, continuing to get your teammates involved, those two right there, Galvan and Blakes, in my opinion, need to take a bulk of the shots here in the fourth quarter. They need to be handling the ball as much as possible. And then maybe kick out for an easy, wide-open-looking 3. But these two got to lead the way.
So right now we have the officials at the monitor. You may have heard me say a moment ago that Tiani Key looked like she had gotten hit in the mouth. Kentucky asked the officials about it.
At review, it's just incidental contact. There is no other foul on this play.
So Eric Bruton and crew did a good job to go back and review this play to see if there was an unobserved foul. Key is number 7 in blue in the bottom right of your screen. She and Passat have been battling all day, and officials did not see anything there that would warrant a foul being called. So Tiani Key opens the fourth quarter on the bench, and I'm sure we'll see her shortly. So Kentucky, can they hang on here in the fourth quarter? Again, Vanderbilt lost last Sunday. That was their last game. Nice start. Passat with a good pass over to Black.
Oh, what a great time for Vanderbilt. Passat making a play for Black. And just as I get finished telling you that Galvan and Blakes need to be the primary ball handlers, 2 other players from Vandy make an important play. This is what makes them the top 5 team in the country.
Oh, nice. Strack goes right down the left side of the lane. Doesn't get the finish. Offensive rebound by Obi. Boone will shoot the 3 in and out. Very rarely will you see Asia Boone miss a 3 when she's that open.
And every miss is so close to being right there. Her shooting form, everything from her footwork to her finish, fantastic.
Wilson scoops the pass to Galvan. Tony Morgan, 2-on-3. Strack feeding Obi. Obi trying to take the baseline. And 1. And a foul on Black. She would not be denied, Brooke.
Obi so strong in the post, getting it on the block. Little face-up game. Bodying up, just willing her way to the other side of the rim to get the shot. Black unable to stay in front of her. And Obi bodies that one to get the and 1.
Jordan Obi, who had been a starter until 4 games ago, and they decided to bring her off the bench so she could play her natural 4 position. Very good golfer, excellent golfer. Fascinating person off the court. And the lead is still 4 for Kentucky. Kentucky trying to lock down a 5 through 8 seed in the SEC tournament, which starts March 4th. They also want to lock down a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament, which would allow them to host first and second rounds. And Michigan earlier today losing to Iowa. That gives Vanderbilt a little bit of a pad, as Michigan was just behind them in the initial top 16 reveal. Galvan's open. And it will stay with Vanderbilt. Good hustle.
Galvan getting that corner 3, and then Strack, look at her coming in again. Block shot, the timing right there. In the battle for the loose ball, that's been fun to watch all day.
A new single-season blocks record for Kentucky. And Strack rewriting the history books in that category. Tiani Key is now up off the bench, and we'll check in for Kentucky for the first time this quarter and give Strack a breather. So Strack heads off. Strack with 17 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists. But to your point, Brooke, we haven't seen a Mikayla Blakes basket since the 7:58 mark in the third quarter.
She said, I got something for you, Sam. Let me show you a little bit of this move right here, this baseline. Get low, get past the defense, and then left hand with the spin finish. That was left hand, right? I think so.
Yeah.
It looked like it from here. She's such a blur. Sometimes it's hard to see.
Blakes completes the three-point plays. I mean, she just makes spectacular plays.
She goes 0 to 100 so quick too, and it's in complete control.
Always love doing games when the stars are shining, and they certainly are today. These two have come to play. Morgan, pure, sweet jumper for Tony Morgan to extend the Kentucky lead back to 3.
Yeah, Morgan contributing with some points as well. You look at Kentucky down the line, and there's Strack, who's got 17, and Boone with 13, but other players in double figures. Feels like it's been more balanced than that for Kentucky. Take over time for Blakes. Beginning now.
She did it in the fourth quarter in Lexington, and trying to do it here at home. Vanderbilt has not lost a home game all season. They are 14-0 in Memorial. Hassett to Boone. Good rebound. Nice block out by Black.
And the 5'11" freshman doing the fundamentals right there to get a huge rebound. The momentum shift for Vandy is coming.
Obi fouls Blakes before she can get loose to the bucket. Well, SEC women's basketball always on Thursday night. Flau'jae Johnson and number 7 LSU will host Talasia Cooper in Tennessee. That'll be down in the Maravich Center in Baton Rouge. Coverage will be at 6 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Going to be a terrific matchup there, and I see Flau'jae Johnson, a couple of the ladies at LSU working with the lethal shooter. Keep their long range in order. Tiani Key's got blood on her lip.
And Clara Strack gets called for that foul. So that will put Blakes back on the free throw line, yeah.
And just how physical has this game been? Here, Blakes having to go between two tall defenders and still finds the only window possible for the shot attempt.
Well, you just witnessed Mikayla Blakes' 10th 30-point game this season. In fact, she's averaging 30 a game in the SEC, the nation's leading scorer. Now Vanderbilt back up by a point. They have caught Kentucky and passed them for now. Key draws the foul and will go to the line. Oh, what a battle inside. Key and Passat have been going at it the entire game. Passat got called for that foul, and that is her second.
Yeah, the work they do just getting themselves into position in order to disrupt that part. That's been one of the most exciting parts of watching this game, just how well they move without the basketball.
Key getting close to a double-double. Now 10 points, 8 rebounds. And more importantly for her, puts Kentucky back up by a point. Well, just another typical day in the SEC, huh? Blakes gets loose for another bucket. Blakes with the last 9 points scored for Vanderbilt.
It's a great read and call by Shea Ralph to open up the floor and allow Blakes to go jab step baseline.
Strack. They want to get it to Strack. Morgan finds Key, blocked by Passat, into the hands of Blakes. Passat. And Passat runs down her own miss and can't get the follow. And Memorial is ready to explode.
You felt that. The energy here is palpable. Fans are just ready to get off their feet. Got the student section across from us. They've been hyped this whole game.
Again, one of the more unique venues in college athletics where the benches are under the baskets. Strack, Hassett for three. And Hassett knocks down the three-pointer to extend the Kentucky lead back to 2.
Terrific extra pass from Tony Morgan. Continues to play unselfish basketball for this Kentucky team. But Mikayla Blakes, oh boy. So good, so creative, so unstoppable. On the baseline, 2 more for Vandy. 74-72 lead for Kentucky, and Mikayla Blakes is trying to do what she did in Lexington. Take overtime for her. This is the 5th game out of 6 that she's had 30 or more points. In the SEC, she's continuing to put up 30-point-plus games. This incredible performance and a season for the sophomore Mikayla Blakes.
Most in an SEC season since the 99-2000 season. We talked about her being a generational player earlier, but you have to include her off the court. Such a high character individual, incredible student. You'll come to practice and see her playing with children, and eventually wants to go into nursing when her basketball career is over. And Mikayla Blakes is just one of those student athletes. It is very hard to pull against. In fact, most opposing coaches will go right to Mikayla Blakes after the game to sing her praises to her face.
Oh yeah, I mean, the respect is earned and given and well deserved. She's such a hard worker, such a great teammate, outstanding human being, just incredible asset to this Vanderbilt program.
Just a sophomore, only 20 years of age. In and out, Hassett with a timely rebound for the Wildcats. Kentucky up 2 here in the 4th quarter. They had the lead in the 4th quarter the last time they played 10 days ago and lost. Vanderbilt has not lost at home this season. Hassett, in and out. Blake's trying to create. Good D by Boone.
Yeah, good job to use her feet to stay in front of her to slide without using her hands.
Blake's relentless. And one from Mitchell.
Well, again, Sasha Washington not playing in this game. So the screen and slip for Mitchell. And Blakes decides to take the shot, but nobody slides over to box out Mitchell. You see Strack coming over to play help side, but nobody hopes to help her there. And Mitchell with the easy and 1.
3rd foul on Boone. Mitchell with 12 points today. She only had 6 points in her last 6 games, so she has really responded to getting the start today instead of Sasha Washington, who has not played. Under 4 to play. Boone probing to Key, now Hassett. Strack, little fadeaway, doesn't get the roll. Vanderbilt can retake the lead.
Kentucky's had this lead for almost 30 minutes of this game. Vanderbilt just 3 minutes leading. It's starting to get tight here in the 3rd quarter. What will Galvan do? In the 4th, I should say, excuse me.
Turn it over on the doors. 2 on 2. Hassett will shoot the 3 as the trailer, and it works out for the Wildcats. That is confidence.
It is, and Kenny Brooks lined up that 3-point shot for Hassett in their first matchup. And she's just been so good at the catch and shoot. Started off this game hot, and the 3's continuing to fall for Kentucky. That's their 10th of the game.
Blake's trying to answer. Good save. Black. Overshot. And Hassett grabs the rebound. Millie Hassett now with 8 rebounds, 15 points, and Hassett is one of those shooters, 32 in blue, that just does not seem to have a memory. She can miss 5 in a row, and she keeps on firing.
Yeah, I think that's a great description of how she approaches the game. 6'4" senior from Australia, trailing, can't give her some space. She's got a quick release. And that high arch at 6'4", hard to even contest.
It is 5:42 a.m. back in Australia in her hometown, and her family has a way to watch these games. So we again say good day.
Breakfast and basketball, Sam, nothing better.
Blakes rips it away from Strack. And Blakes unable to get the bucket to go down, but Vanderbilt keeps it beside. She'll take the three. Boone on the drive. There's Hassett again. Galvan dribbling over to Shea Ralph.
Who points at Blakes? Give her the ball. She knows.
Galvan guarded by Boone. Boone with 3 fouls. And a timeout taken by Vanderbilt. 8 seconds on the shot clock here. Why do you think Shea Ralph takes the timeout here?
She didn't like the feel of the play. She's going to call a 30 to try to get a quality look at shot. I think she felt the hesitation in that Vanderbilt possession. We just want to give this team clear instructions on what type of play they're looking to execute here. Remember, a couple plays ago, Blakes was able to jab step, go back door. So maybe Kentucky, with all that pressure, you might be looking for that.
So right now Kentucky is in the bonus. Any Vanderbilt foul on a Kentucky player will result in free throws. Still a foul to give for Vanderbilt, and timeouts. Both teams have plenty. 3 for Kentucky, 2 for Vanderbilt. Possession arrow favors Kentucky.
Nobody really in foul trouble except for Black on Vanderbilt, who's got 4.
97 seconds left in regulation. Shot clock, keep your eye on it. Galvan launches, hit rim, and a big save by Hassett. And Black is grabbing her face as she runs down the floor, 8 in white. And Kentucky will take a timeout with 1:21 left to play. And Black, I think it looks like a contact issue. But it's Kentucky that took the timeout.
Well, the long 3 from Galvan. You can see the play was designed for Blakes to get a look off the bounce, and then the tie up underneath. Looks like Hassett and Black going for the rebound. And Hassett may have gotten her in the eye with her finger there. They're going to go look for an unobserved foul.
Well, she certainly did, but whether it was a
Play on the rebound was being reviewed for a possible unobserved foul. Plays on the review.
So they're going to take a look at that play and see if that was a foul on Hassett. And right now, both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Vanderbilt is in the bonus. So this is going to be interesting, Brooke, because it could drastically change what happens next.
Yeah.
Because if it's a foul on Hassett, Vanderbilt is going to not only have the ball, but go to the free throw line.
You know, just the quick replay that we were able to observe, you know, didn't really catch my eye as an unobserved foul, kind of worthy type of play, but let's see what the officials have to say. So Hassett just, they were both going for the ball, and Hassett ended up getting Black in the eye and trying to get comforted by the Vanderbilt staff here. Let's take another look.
That's Hassett, 32 in blue, underneath 8 in white. There was no foul call. And it is incidental contact.
After review, the foul is incidental contact. There was no foul on the play.
So, yeah, good job by Bruton and crew to take a look at that. So Amelia Hassett doesn't get called for the foul. 1:21 left to play, and Black had her contact knocked out.
Well, you wonder too how that's affecting her vision. You see her squinting out of her left eye. So, you know, defensively, not as much, Sam, but certainly offensively shooting could have an impact.
Kentucky gets the ball on its side of the court after that timeout. They're tied at 77. Boone open for three.
Great box out by Blakes.
One minute left. Blakes gets loose, draws the foul on Boone. That'll be number 4 on Boone, and Blakes will go to the line with 53.4 left.
Another example of Blakes getting low, and for Boone, that's tough because you're trying to stay with her, and as Blakes falls, it doesn't take much contact or look like much contact from the officials to blow the whistle. So you have to have that help side, but it's tough because she stays so low and she's so quick. And by the time you realize you got to help, it's too late.
Vandy up 1. Points for Blakes. Kentucky can retake the lead. Morgan, good switch. Morgan trying to get around Brock. Does, backs it in. Timeout Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt will have one more timeout. Kentucky has 2. Remember, Tony Morgan beat LSU on a last-second shot earlier this year.
Yeah, this was a kind of a broken play, too, because you can see they were trying to get that rhythm 3 over to Hassett, and the pass went wide. So Morgan recollected the whole offense and said, let me just go ahead and take this right to the rack, and what a shot over the side.
For a clock malfunction.
So Eric Gruden, our lead official, going to check out the clock, see if it's correct, and they have a clock malfunction. So with that bucket, Brooke, Kentucky has 5 players in double figures today.
Yeah, the balance of the Wildcats is so tough to prepare for. And, you know, you can expect paint points, you can expect threes. So it's difficult to prepare for both. Right now, though, you know, Vanderbilt with the opportunity, with the basketball right now, so you'd have to think it's got to be Blakes that's going to take the shot, but she's become such a good passer. And to see Pissat hit that 3 for Vanderbilt, I think was a huge boost of confidence to get her back in, but of course you only need 2.
After review, the game clock will be set to 32.8. 32.8 on the game clock.
So they're adding 4/10 of a second to the clock. Kentucky with 2 timeouts remaining. And they have the benefit of the possession error. There's the 5 players in double figures today for Kentucky. They are so tough to scout because obviously they can beat you in a number of ways.
Yeah, we mentioned the threes. They've got 10 of them this afternoon. Hassett's hit 5. Carroll a couple off the bench. And then Boone has had 3 herself. As we mentioned, their losses, 4 of them came without Tiana Key in the lineup, and now that they've got her back, they feel like they're really starting to gel at the perfect time, headed toward the end of this regular season. New single season record holder, Clara Strack breaks her own record last year to this for blocks. Let's see if she's got one in her right now.
Any foul on a Kentucky player against Vanderbilt puts them at the free throw line. Vanderbilt still has 1 foul to give.
And they've got Key on Blakes, trying to keep a larger defender on.
Galvan has not scored this quarter with the ball. Got a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Galvan shooting. First bucket of the quarter. And Vanderbilt goes up 1. Timeout, Kentucky.
The Chicago kid, the freshman, coming through late in the game. Galvan cannot be rattled, probing, looking for a way to hit Blakes, and then says, oh, you know what? You gave me a little space. Let me light it up. Corner of the free throw line here. Over Strack to hit the shot.
Galvan with 20 points this afternoon. That was her first bucket of the fourth quarter. 5 assists. And so now Kentucky with 7.9 seconds remaining to try to steal one on the road and get some revenge for a home loss 10 days ago to this Vanderbilt team.
And take a look still at the timeouts. If you're Kentucky, you got one. If you're Vandy, you got one. So Kentucky, don't panic about getting the ball in. But once you do, don't hesitate. Like, don't sit there and dribble till 5, 4, 3, and then start to make your move. Get it in and head toward the rim. You always have a chance for an offensive putback, but in my opinion, try to get that shot off maybe before the 5 or 4 second mark.
Keep in mind that Vanderbilt still has a foul to give. Possession arrow favors Kentucky.
That's a good point, Sam, because if Kentucky gets some momentum heading to the basket, Vanderbilt can foul, stop the clock, force Kentucky to take it back out of bounds.
So Kentucky ball, 7.9 seconds remaining. Vandy up 1. They have not lost at home this entire season. Hassett gets it to Morgan. Morgan making her move. And a foul on the baseline against Passat. So that was the foul they had to give. No free throws, but now Kentucky's in the bonus. 5.3 seconds left, and Kentucky will take its final timeout.
You'd have to think that Kenny Brooks is going to try to maybe draw something up. I always love the high ball screen kind of moving downhill because it forces the defense to react one way or the other. So you either have an open look coming off the screen or post players step up and then you can dish down low to Strack. And my feeling, my vibe is with Carroll giving the back pat to Strack. That's who the ball's going to end up with.
Well, they have so many options. 5 players in double figures today. That was Kentucky's final timeout. Tony Morgan will inbound it under the bucket with 5.3 seconds left. Vanderbilt up 1. Officials trying to get a little separation between the players for this final play. Strack takes it. Loses the ball. Foul called with still some time remaining. The game is not over yet.
Well, they got the inbound, but Strack puts it on the floor. Who gets a piece of that? That's Passat with the deflection. You see her pointing the other way. Blake's right on top of it. Game saving.
And officials are going to go back
on review to check a clock malfunction with the time.
So they're going to make sure the time is correct. Vanderbilt looking for their 11th SEC win, which would tie a school record that has stood since the 2007-2008 season. And it would protect their undefeated home record.
And Kentucky has no timeouts left. So even if they add more time to this, Sam, Kentucky cannot take a timeout and advance the basketball. And here's Strack again off the bounce. Look at Passat, 13. Boom, getting the deflection there, and then they'll see where the clock stops.
After review, the game clock will be set to 0.7 on the game clock. 0.7 on the game clock. And there'll be 2 shots for Vanderbilt.
So Mikayla Blakes will go to the free throw line. Blakes 9 of 11 today. She'll get 2 free throws. Still would be a 1-possession game if she makes them both.
Yeah, Blake's going to walk up to the line, a place where she feels very comfortable. Look at her, so at ease right now. I'm hoping to put this game in further distance for Kentucky, who only would have time for a catch and shoot off 0.7. Oh. Tried to miss it on purpose. I like the thought.
Lane violation. Things are getting interesting here because now Kentucky with .7 can get a shot. A 2 ties, a 3 wins. And it's over. Once again, Kentucky and Vanderbilt produce an incredible game. And Vanderbilt hangs on for their 25th win of the season.
What a team effort from Vanderbilt, who faced a Kentucky team that was ready. They came in here punching. Huge first quarter for both